Some people think the way to beat the system is to make more money. I think the secret is to need less of it. People ask us all the time how we live the way we do on such a small income. And I always feel a little weird answering that because I'm not an expert. I don't have all the answers. But I do know one thing clearly. I know the life I don't want. I know what it feels like to be trapped. Strapped with debt, bills, car payments, rent, always behind, always tired, always stressed. I was living the life I thought I was supposed to live, and it was slowly killing me. So instead of asking, how do I make more money? I started asking a different question. What kind of life do I not want, and how do I work backwards from that? That's where everything changed for us. The first thing we did was get ourselves completely out of debt. That meant no more new cars with monthly payments. We saved until we could buy used and pay cash. We paid off our student loans, credit cards, all of it. Not so we could be rich, but so we could finally breathe. Then we cut everything that wasn't adding real value to our lives. Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, gone. We switched from AT&T to Mint Mobile, saving hundreds a year on something we barely even thought about. We bought our property with cash, our tiny home with cash, our barn without taking on any debt. None of this happened overnight. It took years. But every single small move stacked on top of the last one. And the number we needed to survive each month kept getting smaller and smaller. That's the whole game. Shrink the number. At some point, I looked around and realized how much stuff I owned that I didn't even use. Sports gear, jerseys, bikes that just sat there. I sold all of it. Eventually, I sold my car. We went down to one vehicle for a long time. An old van a family member gave us. And you know what? It worked. These things we hold on to, the stuff, the gadgets, maybe even the job, they might be the very things holding you back from the life you actually want. Sometimes you just have to give yourself permission to let go. Here's the part most people probably don't realize. When you own a big house with a loan, car payments, everything else you bought on credit, you think you own those things. But really, they own you. Because your entire life has to revolve around making those payments every single month. The moment you lose your job, and that's happening to people every day right now, no matter how long they've been somewhere, nobody cares about your reasons. They just want that next payment. And if you can't make it, you've got a very big problem. But if you don't need very much, nobody can touch you. Nobody controls you. You control you. I can't tell you how much I dread getting our water bill each month, our electric bill, our sewer bill. So I keep building systems to make us more independent. Our small solar setup, a rainwater catchment system I want to finish this year, heating with wood instead of electric. Every one of those is me cutting another wire to a system that sends me a bill every month. Building a parallel world where I don't need to depend on them. I want to tell you where I was a few years ago, because I think a lot of you are there right now. For years, I worked night shifts. I'd come home exhausted and take care of my daughter while my wife left for her shift. We'd just trade off like that constantly. And one day it hit me. We aren't actually living. We're doing what everyone else does. And it wasn't working. My body was breaking down. My mind was in debt. I had nothing left to give my daughter. Nothing left to give my wife. You can't put a price on what it actually costs to let your life go by while you watch it happen passively, like you're a character in it, and there's nothing you can do to change it. One day I realized if I didn't make a change, I wasn't going to make it. So we made the change. We sold the junk. We cut the bills. We got clear on what actually mattered. And we put ourselves in a position where it was impossible to fail, because we left ourselves no other option but to succeed. We removed every obstacle holding us back from the versions of ourselves we knew we were called to be. One of the biggest things I've learned as I've gotten older is to stop caring what other people think. New phones, new gadgets, new cars, all of those things cost time, your time, to pay for them. And I was no longer willing to trade my life for them. Now, we don't buy cheap things. We buy things that last. If it doesn't move us closer to the life we're building, we don't buy it. Everything has to earn its place. I want to be honest with you about something. Most people won't be willing to do what we did to make this life possible. It took us about 5 years of saving to buy our house and property debt-free. 5 years of grinding to do that, and I'm so grateful we did. This YouTube channel took 5 years to gain any real traction and start making any income. That's what it actually takes. You have to have the mission clearly in your mind, keep your sights set on it, and not give up until you get there. Only do what brings you closer to that goal and cut out everything that doesn't. That's what it takes. My wife had what looked like a great opportunity to run a new store. More responsibility, a better title on paper. She took it, and it turned out to be the worst thing for our family. It was more hours, more stress, less time with the kids. All she ever wanted was to be home. We both work part-time right now to keep the bills paid and food on the table. That's the reality. But we can only make it work because we need so little. Growing your own food is like printing money. But more than that, it's therapy. It healed parts of me I didn't even realize were broken from years of working jobs that drained me. This year, we're also focusing on storing food for the first time. Canning, preserving, freezing. Every skill we learn is one less thing we have to buy. If you want to start growing your own food this year and you don't know where to begin, that's exactly why I wrote the 400 square foot garden. It's the plan I wish I had when I first started. You don't need a big property, you just need a starting point. The link is down in the description. Money comes and goes, but how you raise your kids, the life you actually live, the skills you pass on, that's what lasts. That's the legacy. This life isn't fancy. It's not something to show off, but it's something to be proud of. This is why we live cheap, on purpose.